Hey everyone, welcome back to the Cooldown Room. I'm LastLapLucy, and today I'm joined with, and I am going to do this will.i.am style. He's American. He didn't know about Formula One until a few years ago, but now he likes it. He's really nice, and he also happens to be my boyfriend. It's Dan! Hi, Dan.
Hello.
I'm not as good as...
I didn't see the intro, so I'm not sure
he doesn't
what
get
that
the
reference
reference.
is, but
That's okay.
anyways.
Yes, there was some off-track shenanigans, let's just say that.
Yeah.
It's Miami.
Gotta love Miami.
Yeah. We've definitely come to expect that now, and I don't know, what do you think about it all the off-track shenanigans?
I don't know. I mean, I mainly just watch the race and stuff. I don't care too much for the shenanigans. I don't think they should have any more shenanigans than any other race. Like, I mean, there's nothing special about Miami, really, besides the fact that it's like Florida, and Florida's not that special. I mean, of the states, it's fairly significant, but like, it's just warm and it's got Disney World. They should do a street circuit where they like take over a Disney World or something and do it in there. That would be cool. The Disney Grand Prix.
Can you imagine how expensive that would be for them to host? Like, they basically have to buy out the theme park for like a whole weekend.
Well, yeah, but I think it would benefit Disney. Yeah. I mean, it would benefit both F1 and Disney, in my opinion.
Yeah, I feel like Disney would lose more money though. I don't know
how you'd make it grade 1. Well, I mean, Miami was super expensive. They can charge a ton for Disney, and people who like Disney are going to be like, "Whoa, they're racing at Disney! I want to watch this."
You left your phone? Oh, is it that one or no?
Are you sitting on it?
I'm not sitting on it. My brother says hi if you didn't see that. Dan says hi back.
I know that much actually.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing it around here anywhere. Is there anywhere else it could be? Is it in your pocket? Okay. No. Bye. Sorry about that. What were you saying?
So yeah, Miami is super expensive as is. I think they can charge a ton. I think the more people will be inclined to watch it because it's in Disney. With that being said, I fully understand that Disney probably doesn't have the roads or barriers or something, so it'd be hard to make happen. But, you know, well, then again, I mean, Miami, street circuits are things. So what does it take to make a street circuit grade 1? Like,
true. But then again, Disneyland or Disney World, any of the Disney parks, I get the sense they're quite like narrow and windy rather than being like more.
I feel like they have to be pretty wide paths for all the people there. I think they're somewhat wide. Yeah. I haven't been to Disney in like nearly 20 years, but.
Wow. How old were you when you went?
Like 4 or 5, maybe 6. I don't really remember.
Wow.
Like, I was young enough that I don't remember much of it, if any.
Do you remember anything? Like,
I remember walking around a bit. I've seen photos. Yeah, I have a a Mickey hat somewhere at home. With the ears, but otherwise, yeah.
I'm the opposite. I never went until I was I think I was about 15 when I went for the first time. So I waited a bit longer than.
And then you've been to every single Disney World since then.
I haven't.
Well,
not ever. I've been to all of them. I've been to the one in Paris, Florida, and California.
What else is there?
There's one in Shanghai. I think there's one in Tokyo as well.
Oh, interesting.
And I believe there's one in the Middle East. I don't know.
Really?
In Florida, they have Epcot. They have this like one room where they talk about all the other Disney parks, and there's several more. So I'm getting there, Miss Worldwide.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the actual Grand Prix.
Less expensive than a Grand Prix at this point. Anyway. I'm half joking. Like, genuinely, the cost of some of these races, Miami especially, it's getting out of hand.
Yeah. I imagine.
I was actually looking just an hour ago. Someone had tweeted out a menu from the Miami Grand Prix.
Like, yeah, I saw that.
It was like a salad for $250. Like,
yep.
What?
That's crazy. Which, to be fair, if you're going to a race and getting food like that, I can understand it being expensive. Like, you don't like for
not expensive.
Well, it's probably like really fancy or something, and you've already it's it's for like the people who already paid like thousands of dollars, like more than the general admission, I imagine. So
It is
you don't have
crazy.
people just sitting in the grandstands ordering a salad, is what I'm saying.
No,
Like that's for like
exactly.
very VIP people.
Yeah.
But
It's kind of baffling how much money like these rich people
yeah,
have to burn. Like they could
mhm,
just spend $250 on a sandwich and a salad and
yeah,
probably not even think anything of it. Whereas like to a normal person like you or me, $250, that's a pretty big purchase, you know?
yeah,
We'd have to really think about that one.
mhm, yeah,
So yeah.
uh, yeah,
Yeah. Very
yeah. That's where
interesting
we're
the
at
way
with my.
F1's going.
Well, it's always been a rich petty sport. Like
It
it's
has.
just kind
It
of how it
has.
is.
It's just that that's leaking into spectators now. I know in the past it
Yeah.
was way, for example, Silverstone, my local race, it
Mhm.
used to be like you could pay maybe in the very past £15 for the whole weekend. More recent
Wow.
past, maybe £50 for the whole weekend.
Mm.
Um just a few years ago, just the Friday was £90.
Mm.
And now this year it's like
Yeah.
£160 for just the Friday. So it's
Oh
getting
shoot, that's
mad.
rough. Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting crazy. And I'm pretty sure it's even more expensive in the US. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. I think Texas is the cheapest one, but I have no idea what it's at.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. Anyways, about the
yeah.
race.
Yes, the
Um.
race. There was a race? There was a race in Miami?
It's an interesting one because it's very polarizing in whether people think it was a boring race or an entertaining race.
Which camp are
Um,
you?
I don't know. I think I'm just kind of bitter at this point. Like I was really, really wanting Checo to win that race,
Oh.
And then Max pulled his lead, and then came out 7 tenths behind in the pit stop, and then it was just like over. Like he passed Checo, and Checo couldn't even really defend.
Yeah.
And I don't know. There were very good moments to the race. Like
Yeah.
a lot of the midfield there were some good
Magnussen?
fights. Yeah, Magnussen holding like there were some I saw this in the chat more than the race, but like apparently Ocon like went really long on tires
Yeah,
going
yeah,
off
yeah. He did a really
Charles
long stint on
DRS.
his, yeah.
But anyways, I'm just bored of Verstappen winning, and then okay, not even that because dominance is a common thing in F1, I'd say, or
Yeah.
at least 50-50 over the past 20 years. It's very
Yeah,
common.
yeah. It's
Um,
always phases, It was Ferrari in the
and
Michael Schumacher days, then Hamilton with Mercedes,
mhm,
and now here we are
yeah,
with Red Bull.
and then there's a few years in between where like it's not like 2021 was really entertaining. Um,
Yeah.
but I just
2020
feel
was
like
great too.
oh yeah, there were some really good moments.
Even though
I didn't.
Mercedes was
I
so
only saw the
dominant.
last 4 races, but yeah,
Yeah.
like, and there were some really good moments in every season. Like 2022, George Russell got his first win. That was at the end of the
Yeah.
season, anyways. But there was some fighting in
Yeah.
2022 at least. And Checo's
Yeah.
gonna hold on as long as he can, but I can't hold out hope much
Yeah.
longer.
No,
I'm
it does
pretty
feel
sure.
like all the races this year have just been a bit like kind of boring.
It's all been Red Bull 1-2. I
Pretty
like
much.
relatively they're closer. Like not Red Bull. Like it's anything before Red Bull is fairly close, but there just haven't been that many interesting
Yeah.
races. Like
There's not been a lot
this
of.
one I had no trouble like watching the whole time because I'm like, oh, can Checo make up the deficit? Can he like get close enough
Yeah.
to be in the lead? Like so there were entertaining aspects, but I think but yeah, I just wasn't happy with the race. It wasn't necessarily boring. Um, I just really wanted to see Checo win and hold the lead for even a round, but
Yeah.
that's
No,
not the
that would have
case.
been
And
nice.
I don't think I think it's pretty. I mean, I said it. I this isn't the first time I've said it's over, but I'm pretty sure it's over.
Yeah, it's
Um,
kind of been over from
it's been
Verstappen.
over. It's been
Yeah.
over from day one.
It's been
Just
over
like
it's been over the minute
it's a
Verstappen
matter of
won the
accepting it.
championship last year.
Um, well, I mean, anything could happen. We saw Aston Martin jump, so like, so when we saw the 1-2 in Bahrain with really no question, yeah,
Mm.
that was it. Looking at the standings right now, it's fairly interesting. Like you've got Stroll in the Aston Martin, which
Yeah,
Aston Martin is up there. Alonso's consistently P3,
we love
and
that for
Stroll's a
him.
P8. And Stroll's had P12 and a retirement. but otherwise he has 27 points. Well, Leclerc has had 2 retirements, some decent points, and it's like from Hamilton down, it's pretty interesting. Like who will come out, who will end up in what place, and then just kind of watching the rookies besides that, and some like looking at seats and everything like that. But there's, I don't know.
Big shout out to Formula 2, because that's been brilliant
Oh,
lately.
yeah. Formula 2. Let's talk
Formula
about Formula
2's been
2.
absolutely fantastic. Like Baku in Formula 2, I was just saying last episode, like Baku was more fun than F2 was more fun than F1 in Baku. Like it was literally more exciting. There was more going on in the race. It was just way better.
But yeah, Formula 2 right now. Let's talk about that for a bit. It's like Pourchaire is winning, which I didn't realize. He's only beating Vesti by 3. He's only beating Iwasa by 4, and then Behrman and Kush,
my boy Behrman,
are both at 4th and 5th with 41. Yeah, Behrman had a perfect weekend. Okay, we're getting a bit off topic.
We're really off topic now. This is the
race back to the wrong series.
the Miami Formula 1 cooldown room episode. Yeah. I wanted to mention, actually, you mentioned Checo. And do you get the sense that this season could potentially be Checo's like villain origin story? Like, do you think that next game...
I did want to talk to you about this. I think if Checo is going to pull a Rosberg, it's going to be next year, and it's going to be like, it's going to be this whole Red Bull domination thing. But Checo's going to do more than like pick up the scraps. I think, like in Saudi Arabia and Azerbaijan, he picked up the scraps and won. I think he can do more stuff like in Miami. I think he can just be that much more ahead to the point where he can win. Yeah. Like,
no, exactly. And it's really interesting to me that during the race, and I think this might fuel the villain origin story, they were giving Max constant like updates on Checo's pace, how Checo was doing, your lap versus Checo's lap. Checo had nothing. Checo had like none of that.
Yeah.
And that's really interesting to me.
Which they're letting them race. It's just they're not helping Checo as much as Max. And I'm almost wondering if seeing like a Mark Webber and Vettel thing again. I never saw those seasons.
21 Seb.
Yeah, that sort of stuff. Like, we've already seen Max deny the team orders and stuff like that.
Yeah. Or
reversing the team orders after he wasn't able to do what he needed when he already had the championship. I think if Checo's been very good. I mean, Max has only finished P1 and P2. Checo's had a P5 in Australia, but otherwise he's been very good. And if he keeps going like this, he'll be decently behind Verstappen. But also as he keeps picking up wins, like I'm willing to bet how many races are left? Like 19?
Yeah, a lot still.
I think it's very, very likely that Checo will at least keep it within 100 points. And maybe that's not as significant as I think it is.
Yeah.
But like, if you look at 2022, I know we're getting a bit off topic.
No, it's all good.
Miami was cool. Miami was cool, but there's stuff to talk about. If you look at 2022, Max was 146 points ahead of Charles, and I think Checo is going to be closer than that at the end. Obviously, for reasons of car dominance and stuff like that.
Yeah, also, there's a little bit of a rocket ship going on.
I'd say, first of all, Verstappen did win the first 3 out of 5 races like he did this year so far, but I don't think Verstappen is going to win as many this year as he did last year. I think Checo's going to take a few more. Even if it's just something like Verstappen's taking an engine penalty and Checo's starting P1 and Checo goes ahead to finish and win. But I think Checo's going to take a few more wins. And if there were ever a time for him to really bunker down and fight for this championship, it's going to be 2024.
I can see that. I do want to praise Max, actually. I feel like Max evolves as a driver every single year, and you can see
Max
that.
is a great driver.
Yeah.
We can't deny that. I personally, sorry for interrupting. Yeah. I know and I'm not like, oh no, I'm bitter about him winning and stuff like that. It's true. I don't like how often he's winning.
Yeah.
But you can't say he's an amazing driver.
Yeah. And it is really
Yeah.
cool to watch. Like, it sucks that we kind of know who's going to win,
Mhm.
but it is great to see when it does happen, if that
He's
makes sense.
he's doing it like perfectly. Is the
Yeah.
thing. Like
That's I
every
wanted to note that this race, so obviously Verstappen started in P9 due to Leclerc crashing in qualifying.
Mhm.
Um, what was interesting was he didn't gain any positions on the opening lap. And normally, if a driver's starting slightly out of position, down the order, they're gonna on that first lap, they're gonna want to try and just get as many cars as they can.
Mhm.
Leclerc in Australia this year, we saw it happen. He was hungry to gain positions when he could, when it was easier
Mhm.
to do so.
Mhm.
He misjudged it. He collided with Stroll, took himself out the race.
Ah,
Um,
okay.
so that was, risk versus reward. He didn't have a
Mhm.
lot to lose at that point because he was already quite far down. It would have really
Mhm.
helped him to get past Stroll. Now, Verstappen, he's got really good at managing risk versus reward because, a younger Verstappen absolutely would have just gone in and, like, if he sees the chance of a move, he's going to go for it. He's not going to stop and think about how much he's risking versus how much he's going to get out of it. He's just going to go in. Now, Max of current days, Max of today, he is much more well-rounded as a driver. He is starting to drive like a champion, and you can see that in the way that he's,
Mhm.
choosing his battles. He's picking when to fight those battles,
Mhm.
rather than just like blindly going at people. He's a lot more smart with his driving, similar to how we've seen. Alonso's very smart with his driving as well. He always knows when to take those risks. And Lewis Hamilton as well is the main one for me, who's fantastic at the risk versus reward judgment. So yeah, it's just really impressive, and I feel a little bit proud of Max, because I saw him in his "I will go for the move no matter what" days, and he's grown so much since then as a driver. So yeah, it's really nice
Yeah.
to see. So yeah, go
What I
Max for
want to
that.
say with that, a few things. First of all, Max is probably no Max and Checo with how dominant the Red Bull is. Like I know P9 to P1, that's pretty impressive, and apparently this is the first time that's happened or something. But
For a
um,
while, I think it's
I think Crofty said this is the first time someone's won. Oh, maybe it is a while. No, it is a while, like several years. But yeah.
no,
But
I think it goes
anyways,
back to like the Senna days or something.
yeah. But it's just what like when I saw I was in P9, it wasn't exactly something I was going to be impressed by. Knowing one Verstappen, two Red Bull, like there
Yeah.
was no question he was going to get
Yeah.
up to
Yeah, no
P2,
one's
and he
like,
did within 15
wow,
laps. That wasn't,
yeah.
and along with that, as for his maturity, he's definitely gotten very mature and stuff like that, and the championships are definitely helping. I I think some of that has to do with the fact that Red Bull is extremely fast,
Yes.
and Verstappen from P9, he could like I don't think he was concerned that much about getting passes as fast as because he had, like you said he had more to lose now,
Mm,
and he
exactly.
still made it past really fast.
Yeah. He just
But like for
waited.
example, I know Verstappen had more like issues in his first few years of his career, like 2016, 17. I don't know how far, where
Yeah.
he would sometimes get into crashes and stuff like that, and stuff would happen, or
Preventable
he'd make
and
mistakes.
unnecessary
He
crashes
would
as
push too
well.
far because
Yeah.
he didn't really have as much to lose there. Mercedes was dominating, and Ferrari were the closest for some of that time. And even when Red Bull was getting wins, like Red Bull was just getting wins, which is amazing for him. But like
Yeah.
he wasn't fighting for a championship; he was fighting for the win,
Yeah.
for that
And he'd
individual
had
race.
wins. So
Yeah, exactly. Like so
yeah.
now he is fighting a championship, and he no matter what, whether he gets P2 or P1, he knows he needs to finish that race because he can probably come back from a DNF with Checo winning, but like he wants as many points as possible. So yeah.
So nice that you know so much about F1 now. Like I'm sorry, it's so off topic. I'm here like once again. Like I don't know. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
For those who don't know, I guess like when the two of us met, I was like, "Oh, I'm really into Formula One." He's like, "What's Formula One?" So we've made huge progress, guys. Yeah,
So yeah, something I think we need to address with this race.
yeah.
Logan Sargent.
Oh boy.
And I think we'll probably address this more during the superlatives, but it was not a good day for
It
him.
was
but not a good
It was
weekend
not,
for him.
it
He
was not.
qualified P20. He moved up a bit, but then he got damaged and had to pit, and he literally never moved up since then. Like I'll give him credit. He was only lapped by like 3-4 cars.
Yeah.
And Williams is slow.
Yeah.
Like,
But
what
then
was
you've
that being
got
said?
my
Albon got
boy
like
Albon.
was in top 10, got P14,
Yeah.
but like
It's a bit of a concern, especially at your home race, you know. It's
I'm not concerned for his chances in F1 or anything. He's doing perfectly fine in the Williams, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
But you just don't want to see that.
It sucks, yeah. And the fact how like he's from Florida, he was born like half an hour from the actual track.
Mm.
It's just, he was like really close to home for him, and his family was probably there or something. So it just
Yep.
sucks to not have anything to show for it and just
That
be
does suck.
in the back of the pack that whole time. Very almost clean race, but like
Yeah.
yeah.
Just not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's got 2 more chances.
Yeah.
Hopefully he'll have better American races.
Fingers crossed.
But I don't know.
God bless America and all that.
The rookies are really interesting this year.
I love the rookies this year. They're so fun to watch.
I love the rookies. Yeah, it's so cool to see. Like
Yeah.
it's like when I started watching, it was 2020, and we were just in the generation where it was like Norris, Russell, Albon, Leclerc.
Yeah.
And now we've got the Piastri, Sargent, De Vries.
Yeah.
Like you pointed out the kind of like parallel there, how
the cinematic parallel.
AlphaTauri, Williams, and McLaren.
Yeah.
It's the new set of rookies,
Yes.
and they're all with like the new generation as the older drivers, sort of thing, except for De Vries, who is with Sonoda. But like,
it's like, it's
yeah,
so fun
it sucks. I feel bad for really all of the rookies.
Yeah. Yeah.
McLaren's not great this year.
Rookies will be rookies, you know. Like they're never gonna be in a fast car or of a top team or, you know, on top of the world in their first year. They're doing their best.
McLaren could have been fast. Like
they could have.
Like I think Piastri ultimately made the right choice going to McLaren.
Yeah.
But like
definitely. They have the budget to
he would have enjoyed Alpine this year. I think. With that being said, Alpine's not doing too great either.
They had a good race though today.
They had a good race, yeah.
Not today.
And
it's
also,
really not today.
No, it wasn't today.
It wasn't today.
And they had decent races. And
P8 and P9 was it? Double points?
Yes.
Yeah. I remember.
So they're improving. I think they've also just had some bad luck. Like Australia, they were right, but then all the restarts. So
yeah.
For my headphones switched
out. Yeah, your headphones are having a moment there.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. I'm just going to note that time down for editing. Sorry.
No, all good.
You may continue.
Yeah, so like Australia, like they were in a good spot, but then the restarts kind of killed them. So Alpine's got something like they're in P6 right now. They're actually behind McLaren, surprisingly. But I think we will see a cool fight between McLaren and Alpine possibly if McLaren can pick up.
Yeah, and that's kind of always the way it has been.
Yeah.
With those two teams, they always kind of find themselves in the same spot in the last especially the last 5 years, 5 years maybe just 5 years.
But yeah, it sucks to see how slow McLaren was. It felt slower compared to the last few years.
Yeah.
Though I guess arguably, it's not. I mean, I don't know. It's not too much. It's not as bad as we think with McLaren. Like they were fighting for P4 last year. This year they're fighting for P6. But they were fighting for P5. Sorry.
Sorry, okay, I'm super excited to talk about this. Let's talk about another home race that occurred. Because it wasn't just Sargent. I feel like everyone, including us, forgot. I'm gonna give you a second.
Yeah, give me a second.
To our viewers or listeners.
Oh, Piastri in Australia? Well, that was a home race, but yeah.
This race.
You mean Miami. Like that? No, there was an F2.
No. If you got the answer, well done. Should I tell you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Haas.
Oh, I guess, yeah.
They're American. They're literally American.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
Monaco's always
yeah.
their home race. Miami is
Mhm.
too.
No, yeah, fair enough.
We
But
didn't hear a lot from them,
no,
like, about
not
it
much
being their
happened.
home race. There was not much buzz around Haas, which is a
I mean, I
shame.
don't think they did much last year as their home. I don't know but I don't remember Miami last year too much, to be honest. But yeah,
No, me neither, to be honest. I remember they
yeah, it
had
was
these,
their home
like,
race.
hockey helmets or something going around. No, they wasn't
Hmm.
hockey. I'm gonna get absolutely I'm gonna
Probably
get
football.
bullied for that one.
Um,
what were they wearing?
Football.
Was it
helmets.
football?
I'm assuming football helmets.
American
Yeah.
football,
Anyways,
not soccer.
Haas, they not much
Magnussen. I
happened.
want to talk about Magnussen. Magnussen
Go
was
for it.
absolutely switched on. He was cracked in this
He
race.
held on as much as he could.
He was so good. He was battling with Leclerc in a Ferrari. He was like, he really, like, he did some really brave defensive moves, some brave overtakes, just generally some really great racecraft from Magnussen, and I really, really enjoyed it. I feel
Nice.
like I'm very much guilty of underrating or somewhat forgetting about Magnussen a lot of the time. But you know what? Very well played to him this race. He did a fantastic job. So yeah, go Magnussen.
Yeah. For Haas overall, he's doing fairly well. I mean, Hulkenberg has 6 points compared to Magnussen's 2. But I think that's about how it's going to... Like, they're both slowly going to get more
Magnussen
points.
scored his first points in this race then? Or was he...
Nope, it was Australia. Oh, Magnussen? No, Magnussen got 10th in Miami, and he got his first points in Saudi Arabia.
There we go then.
So they're pretty even, Hulkenberg and Magnussen.
Yeah. Would we like to move on to awards? I know it's kind of early.
Oh, sure, yeah.
I would like to.
Okay, go for it, yeah.
Because why not? I want to talk about driver of the weekend.
Yeah. Who's your driver of the day? Or whatever you... Yeah, it says driver of the day.
Okay, driver of the day then. My bad.
It can be a weekend. It's your show.
It's such a tricky one because Hamilton was very good. Verstappen was very good. But I think it's gonna have to be Magnussen for me. He was just good fun to watch, so yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, but Verstappen. Oh, my headphones fell off. That's how excited I was about Verstappen. Verstappen did so well, though. How could I... Oh.
He did. But
what am I going to do?
It's not different to how he normally... I mean, up to you.
Yeah, but he was so smart not overtaking people on the first lap. Like, he was so intelligent. Ugh. And then, yeah, I'm going to say Magnussen.
Okay.
What about you?
I'm gonna go Ocon, just because I know he held up pretty well.
Very solid.
Didn't turn out that well for him, but he kept those tires going for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Flop of the week.
Okay.
Who's it gonna be? I'll let you go first.
Okay. So this one's tough. Do you want me to narrate? Do you already have one in mind, or?
You name and shame. I have one in mind.
Okay. So obviously Logan Sargent just had a terrible weekend. With that being said, Williams is a slow car. De Vries had a decent qualifying. He got to Q2, ended up P15 if I remember correctly. The race he just started by hitting someone, and he never really. So flop of the week.
Drum roll.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Sargent. I mean, just not a good weekend for him, and I don't think he did anything necessarily wrong. It just wasn't his track in that car, and he just didn't have the pace ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a flop of the week.
Who's your flop of the week?
Oh, I really just yawned at there. Sorry to everyone who has now also just been sent into a yawn because of that. Yeah, so my flop of the week is actually Lance Stroll. Much as I hate to say it, I am a big Lance defender and appreciator. But he had a pretty poor weekend, unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh yeah, did he make it out of Q1?
No.
He did. Wait, no, he
No.
didn't. Wow, yeah.
He qualified like P18 or something. Or
Yeah,
P17.
I'm looking at it. Yeah.
And then in the race, he really didn't make up much more ground, and I think he got stuck behind like Albon and that kind
He
of
finished
train.
P12.
Yeah,
So,
so huge
yeah.
shame, especially knowing what that Aston Martin is capable of.
Mhm.
You know, Alonso
Seeing
was a very
Alonso on the
good.
podium, like, yeah.
Yeah,
Which
it-
Alonso has so much more experience, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, what I do want to say in Stroll's defense is that Aston Martin did a risky tyre strategy in qualifying, which is what caused Lance to go out in Q1. So what they did was they
Interesting.
only used one set of tyres in Q1 for both their drivers. Alonso
Hmm.
pulled it out the bag. Stroll unfortunately did not. It was quite a almost greedy move, like high risk, high reward, which
Yeah.
they didn't necessarily need to do.
They were both pretty low down in Q1, now
yeah.
that we mention it. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, we saw Alonso. Was it second he was
Mhm.
starting after that?
He
Or-
started second, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's what we saw it come to fruition in Q3. Like,
Mhm.
obviously, it did work out for them in the end. Alonso got a very good spot, and I'm
Mhm.
sure Stroll would have been up there had he made it out of Q1. However, yeah, it was
Yeah.
just they goal bossed a little too close to the sun. So, unfortunately, yeah, Stroll was kind of hit by that. Then I guess from the midfield or lower end of the grid, he wasn't really able to do a lot. Same kind of
Mhm.
issue we saw with Leclerc not really being able to make up too much ground despite having a lot of pace on track. So yeah,
Yeah.
unfortunately, I'm gonna say Stroll for flop of the week.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
best move.
Yeah. All right. Let's move.
I'm gonna do mine. I'm gonna hype this so much. Magnussen on Leclerc was so good. I loved it.
Which
Like,
one?
all of them, any of them. Whichever was
Mm.
best. I was
Okay.
screaming at my TV every single time they were fighting. I was like, this is so good. Like, so yeah, probably the one where like Leclerc got past Magnussen and then Magnussen just got him right back. Like that was such a move.
Mhm.
But yeah, there were a lot of good ones. I'm just gonna say Magnussen on Leclerc overall as
Sure.
the move. What about you?
I don't really know too much, but I'd say Russell's undercut on Alonso is pretty good.
Yeah.
He didn't end up keeping the position, but
I think Sainz did manage to successfully undercut Alonso.
oh wait, was it Sainz or was it Russell? Yeah,
was
whoever
Sainz, I
undercut
think.
Alonso.
Yeah.
Okay, Sainz is undercut. Yeah, it was Sainz because he was speeding in the pit lane.
Yeah.
Sainz is undercut on Ricardo. Not Ricardo, Alonso.
Ricardo?
They both ended with O. All right. What does that take us to?
You figured
Best
it out?
battle?
Yeah, best battle. You know what I'm gonna say, right?
Yeah.
Magnussen versus Leclerc. What about you?
That's a tough one. Now I'm gonna say Russell and Alonso because there was a period where Russell was ahead, and I feel like I remember Alonso overtaking him in this race. I think I remember that.
Okay.
Was that this race or was that another race? Did that happen in this race? I don't know. I'm having. Maybe this is like Mandela
short-term
effect.
memory loss.
I don't know. Well, it was yesterday. It was yesterday.
It was a whole day ago.
maybe Russell was P4, so they were close at some point. But yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, I mean.
All right, that leaves us with one more.
Hidden gem.
Hidden gem. I know what I'm going to say.
What a weekend of gems, to be honest. Like, there was so much going on this weekend. I honestly didn't follow too much of the track walk. And I have two here. So I'm going to let you go first. And if you say one of my two, I'm just going to say the other one.
All right. During the race, and I don't know how much of a hidden gem this is because I think people will remember this. I don't know how long people will remember this. I think you know what I'm going to say. Alonso's alone in P3. And he's driving along. We get the radio. And he's like, "What position is Stroll in? Good move." And I had no idea what that meant. Like, I thought that meant he saw him on another part of the track, but no, he was watching the TV screen as he was racing. He was like 15 seconds back, and he was like 15 seconds ahead. He was alone, so he was just able to look up at the TV and see that, and that was so cool. it was probably a really boring race for him as soon as he got up into P3, but like that was fun to see. Alonso's cool.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that was going to be my moment. I actually, going into this show, like recording, like when I sat down, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna say that for my hidden gem, because yeah, that is a pretty fun one. But about 5 minutes ago, I remembered another hidden gem, which I want to mention, which I think is a pretty entertaining one. So Martin Brundle's grid walk. Everybody, need I say more? But yeah, so he was trying to get to Roger Federer for an interview. Martin Brundle was, and
Okay.
he was Jackie Stewart was there. So Jackie Stewart and Martin Brundle was like, "Hello, Jackie, how are you doing?" That's not what he sounds like. Jackie's like, "Hello." Oh my gosh, my impressions are terrible today. And then Martin Brundle's like, Roger Federer, Roger. And obviously, you know, he doesn't pay attention, you know, the guy doesn't turn around. He's got his security guards with him. And Brundle just turns to Jackie Stewart and is like, Jackie, could you go and get Roger Federer? So Jackie Stewart like goes through this, like he jumps over the fence, like there's a little wire thing going on. Like there's a little like barricade. And Jackie climbs over it, and Martin Brundle was here commentating this as Jackie Stewart walks towards Roger Federer's security guards. And Brundle was like, they can't put their hands on Jackie Stewart, you know, they can't stop him. And Jackie's like, he's trying to get in, he's like, hello, just trying to get to Roger Federer. And Federer's security guards like turn around and they're like, no, hold on, mate, you can't go there. And he's just trying to go like, hello, I need to talk to Roger, mate. And yeah, the security guards are like, they've got their hands on his shoulder and everything. They're like, mate, go away. They're American. They probably don't say mate. They're probably like, oi. No, that's even more British. No, I don't know. But they're probably like, you know, trying to get him away. Then George Russell steps in. So George comes out of nowhere. The knight in Mercedes, I don't know, knight in carbon fiber. He comes along, and he's like, he puts his hand on Jackie, and the security guy's like, hello, mate, we're all chums here, aren't we? You know, I don't know what he actually said, but, you know, you can see them kind of talking, and then Roger Federer eventually comes over to Martin Brundle after that whole encounter. The whole thing was just so entertaining to me, like, it was funny. It was just the sight of Jackie going towards these big burly security guards, like, hello, I'd like to speak to Roger Federer, please, and them probably not knowing who he was. Just thinking there's this like random older guy like coming at them. So yeah, that was my hidden gem.
Nice.
So yeah.
All right.
Miami, am I right?
Yep.
Do you have anything else you want to say about the race?
Not that I know of.
To be honest,
Excited for Imola.
Is it race week this week? Is there another one?
No, but
okay. So there's
in
no
2
race
weeks, Imola starts a triple header, I believe.
You know what?
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
I think that is.
Because I was not ready for another race weekend because I'm going to Eurovision this week. So, and fingers crossed there's going to be a vlog dropping on my YouTube channel. So do be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications on my YouTube channel if you are interested in seeing my funny little Eurovision vlog. I promise it will be good. Yeah. I don't think we have anything else to say.
I don't think so either.
Cool.
All right. Thanks for watching.
Do you want to do the outro?
I don't know what the outro is.
Just make it up on the spot.
Thanks for watching the Cooldown Room. This was the episode about Miami. Come back every, I don't know, maybe Tuesdays. And how about Fridays? Do you do 2 days?
I try to do Fridays too, but I have been
come back every Tuesday. And if enough of you come back, then she's gonna make videos for Friday too.
Yeah.
So yeah, you want to see that? Maybe I'll be in some of them.
Yeah, we love Dan. The Dan Nation.
Thanks for
Make
watching.
yourselves known.
See you next time.
Everyone. Bye.